Let's see what I got in the mail today. The box is marked Studio 2 Publishing. Inside is the AEG game Undergrove by Elizabeth Hargrave and Mark Wooton. Hope I said that name right. And the art's by Beth Sobel. It's a 1 to 4 player game, plays 60 to 90 minutes, and it's for ages 10 and up. I love Elizabeth Hargrave games, and I'm super thrilled to play this. First, you start with this user manual. It's beautifully printed, lots and lots of pages. Feels nice in the hands, beautiful colors. Haven't read it yet. Then these player start guides, which is actually really cool. So let's dig into that just a little bit. What they do is they give a guide for players 1 through 4, and they all take separate actions. And it kind of gets you a kickstart into the game so that you understand how to play the game and you all familiarize yourselves with the types of moves that you can make for the game. I really like this sort of thing, and I'm glad that they added it in. Okay, moving on to the unboxing, we've got, these are player boards, and there's a different color for each player, as you can see. And just so you know, they are printed on front and back. I don't think there's a difference between the two, so it's just something that it doesn't matter which side you put up, you've got a board. And last but not least, you've got your solo play board. And that's also double-sided. Then you have the starting tiles for Undergrove. Every game will start this way, with these tiles. If you notice, I got the wooden tile version. This is neat, an art guide. So this is a book showing all the art that Beth Sobel did for the game, along with descriptions of the different mushrooms that are in the game. Not essential to play, but it gives you a lot more understanding of what these things are, what these mushrooms are, and what they're like in the wild. Kind of cool if you're into the science. And this is the carbon track board, and this is also printed on both sides, and this will help you track progress through the game. And these are the goal cards. They're printed on 2 sides, and the difference is explained in the rule book, which I looked at later, but it has to do with a number of goals that you need to be tracking, so you may need to go to one side or the other. That's all explained in the manual. And here's the scoring pad. And here are these gorgeous, gorgeous tiles. These are the wooden tiles. This is the upgraded version of the Kickstarter. But you'll notice that everything's paper banded. They tried to reduce the amount of plastic, which is cool. They're all beautifully printed with the player side and then a nice Undergrove logo on the back. They're made out of wood, pretty substantial. I think these will hold up really well. They've got them in bundles, all wrapped in paper. And this little spacer, which, you don't need that. These boxes kind of confused me at first. I was trying to figure out what they were. So I figured, well, maybe there's something in this one. And maybe the tiles. No, that is utter. No, I have no idea what these boxes are for at this point. But I'll get back to that. They all have a symbol on them. That's a helpful hint. And then you'll see on this row that you all have a tree on each one of them. This corresponds to the player colors. So that should have been my second hint. Trying to keep things organized as I go. Last but not, well, it's not last but not least, this is actually the next piece. Now, normally you'd stuff all these components into plastic bags, one use or multiple use. They chose to, again, reduce the amount of plastic in this packaging, which I think is awesome. So they just threw it all in this big box, which actually is helpful in organizing later. Beautiful, beautiful wooden components. Here's the first player marker, nicely painted, chunky wood. And you've got these trees in different colors, and here's another one. These tokens, which I later learned are seed tokens. Nice and substantial, printed on one side, but nice colors. And there's those curious symbols on them. Again, didn't read the manual, didn't watch too many of the playthrough videos. It was all new to me. You can see there's a whole different, there's these little pieces and bits and, oh, just really cool. All wooden. I love wooden components. I think it adds a lot to the play experience. Oh, now there's one more thing here. Yes, that bonus envelope. Making sure I got it all. This is cardboard, pretty substantial, pre-cut, and it looks like they are trees that you can make into standees, and they are in the different player colors, the 4 different player colors. Kind of cool. And I skipped over this, the solo cards. So these cards are used just in solo play. They have a nice little box, keep them organized. And you can see they're nicely printed. They've got some sort of guides for the solo play. I haven't read through that yet. There's 2 different types of cards. There's the solo deck B, and what on earth could the other deck be named? Oh, it's A, solo deck A. Yeah, that makes sense. I wanted to circle back and explain some of the things that I was confused by. This is how you organize the game. So you've got the tiles on one side, wooden tiles, beautifully printed. And then these boxes, you sort through all the bits and bytes and you put the tiles in there. So this is for the solo game, the solo version of the game. Then you have the phosphorus tiles, and potassium. And look at these little notches here. All the boxes have this, so you grab it and it really makes it easy to open them and to close them. Really nice touch to have those little cutouts. Nitrogen. And of course, carbon. You need carbon for all plants. And most plants get that from either other plants or from the atmosphere, which is kind of cool to think about, that they breathe one of the critical components. Oh yeah, so here each player will have their own color box, and inside there you're going to put all the tokens that they need to play the game. So these are the activation tokens. These are the tree tokens, which you form a symbiotic relationship. These are those seedling tokens. And trying to find it here. Oh, there's more seedlings. And then these little goal track tokens. And this is a little more chunky, but they have a carbon track token for that board. And the little root tokens. So you pack them all into the box, if you can get them all in the box. You can't have troubles getting it. You got to have things kind of leveled out there. Not a hardship, but just make sure that you everything will fit in that box. And then you can see that for every player, you will have all the tokens they would need, all nicely organized, all in biodegradable cardboard or wood, which is wonderful. And then that last big box where all the tokens originally came in, this is where I store the first player token and the solo cards, the goal cards, and the holiday tree bonus bit. I may take that out of the envelope and then assemble the trees, but for now, I'm keeping it that way. And then to pack it all up, you put in your carbon track. I throw in the art guide just to give it some space, and then the scoring pad, and that kind of keeps things level. And then the player aids. And then I stack the solo board, and then the player boards, and then the manual, and last but not least, that starter tile set. Thanks for watching this unboxing of AEG's Undergrove by Elizabeth Hargrave and Mark Wooton.